when you get some time? Could you give some time? Back to mine with a glass of wine. And if I get in front, would you get behind? Could you do that thing I like?
Could you do that thing I like? I think we know what things he likes.
Holding in the way, that's what I heard him say. They used to heed the words he said, but that was yesterday. Gold will turn to gray and youth will fade away. They'll never care about you, call you holding in the way.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Old Men in Chairs. As you can see, we're going to continue down the Ren Rabbit Hole. No, I'm not quite ready for his more intense work, but I found a delightful song off his most recent album called Uninvited. This is a very popish sounding Ren, a Ren that we've never really heard before. But also, there's a few rough edges, including the subject matter, which is extremely risque if you read between the lines. Or if you just think of it as a pop song, maybe it's not what we think it is. Although the artwork would seem to indicate that we are definitely talking about a one-night hookup.
You came in uninvited, two planets collided. I don't really like it, being on my own. Take that how you like it, I don't really mind. If you're still undecided, please just know all I wanna do is get inside of the moment when it's right, and have a moment with no ties and then go shake my fries.
Shake my fries. Apparently that has two meanings. One you can probably guess, but also I just became aware that FRIES is an acronym that stands for freely given consent. But he's definitely talking about a consensual relationship with someone that he's just met, uninvited, two planets colliding in the night. He's very open about that. He doesn't care if the other person has really made up their mind about whether or not there's a future to this relationship, whether there's a long-term prospect. He just wants to get off and go. Maybe it'll happen again, or maybe it'll just be a one-time affair. Well, at least that's very honest. Young men in their 20s and 30s, that's what they're interested in. That's the sexual drive that they're born with, and that is often not very well controlled as far as thinking about the consequences of that little one-night affair. Well, we can see the consequences in society. There's a huge, huge number of single mothers out there. Some of them never married, some of them married and divorced. But the whole sexual promiscuity started in my generation has really, really taken a toll on society. Now, I would compare this song maybe to an anthem from my youth, Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. It's pretty much the same message, let's get it on, but let's not worry about tomorrow. Well, I don't know if that's good advice, but he has a lot of fun with it.
And have a moment with no ties and then go shake my fries, make my order supersize, and multiply and then divide and get low. It's a simple situation with an obvious equation. You and me collaborating for the night. Leave no room for hesitation or for awkward conversation. Just enjoy the syncopation when it's right. Did
you notice the rocket ship taking off and the frosting on the donut? It's all subliminal. Might not mean anything. I think we know what it all means. Probably one of the cleanest dirty songs that you'll ever hear. The innuendo is very, very heavy here. But you could hear this song on the radio and think, oh, isn't that a nice pop song?
Leave no room for hesitation or for awkward conversation. Just enjoy the syncopation when it's right. You came in uninvited, two planets collided. I don't really like it, being on my own. Take that how you like it, I don't really mind. If you're still undecided, please just know all I wanna do is get inside
he shows his singing chops when he goes to the falsetto there. Very, very talented singer when he puts his mind to it. I mean, I know he's also a great rapper, but when he puts his mind to it, he can produce something like this. So we really are talking about a musical genius here. One that's not totally accessible in all of his. This is a song off his most recent album, Sick Boy, spelled B-O-I. And I heard that, he deliberately made this song because he said, I have to have one radio hit if I'm going to be the number one album. And son of a gun, he was the number one album in England at least. I don't think he went that far in the United States. But that was a great accomplishment for a guy. And also, like Tom McDonald and some others in this country, he's independent. He's not signed to a big record label. He can do what he wants. And so to achieve what he's achieved and coming from where he's come with all his disabilities, which I've read a little more about it, and I guess it turned out that he actually was suffering from Lyme disease, and he's now getting treatment for that in Canada, or at least he was, that involved like intravenous treatments like every day. But before he was finally diagnosed, they thought he was crazy. They thought, oh, hey, it's all in your mind, kid. And that's why, a lot of his songs dealt with mental health issues, because they were telling him he was crazy. As the song goes on, it gets more and more explicit.
A moment when it's right and have a moment with no ties and then go. Shake my fries, make my order supersize and multiply and then divide and get low. Get it. Read my mind, let's exist between the lines. Shooting past the stopping signs, moving fast, the stars align. And when you get some time, could you give some time? Back to mine with a glass of wine. And if I get in front, would you get behind? Could you do that thing I like?
You do that thing I like? I think we know what things he likes. He's a normal boy behind all of his craziness. He wants to invite her back for a glass of wine and do that thing that he likes. Talking about multiply, then divide, and go low. That has a couple meanings too, but in America we say get down. Get down to it. Go low. Also we say go down on someone. There's two different things there. Either way, I think we know what he's talking about. Read between the lines? Well, we hardly have to.
And divide and get low. Get it. Read my mind, let's exist between the lines. Shooting past the stopping signs, moving fast, the stars align. And when you get some time, could you give some time? Back to mine with a glass of wine. And if I get in front, would you get behind? Could you do that thing I like? It's a simple calculation with an easy formulation. You and me fornicating for the night. Let me make my presentation in person on procreation. Let's forget all obligations and unwind.
Let's forget all obligations and unwind. Tell me how that works out for you, Ren. It's so funny. He used the word fornication, which is not really even a word that I know of. We know what the real word might be, but by changing it slightly, he can deny. And then he says, my personal procreation. Well, you can't have personal procreation. Procreation requires two people, the male and the female, to get together and create a new life. It's just silly to have a personal procreation, but we know what he means. He means he doesn't really want to procreate at all. He just wants to get in and do his thing and get out and go.
Personal procreation, let's forget all obligations and unwind. You came in uninvited, two planets collided. I don't really like it, being on my own. Take that how you like it, I don't really mind it. You're still undecided, please just know all I wanna do is come inside of the moment when it's right and have a moment with no ties and then go. Open wide, make my order supersize and multiply and then divide and get low, get low, get low. I just wanna come together as two people in this moment, sharing something beautiful. Shh, don't speak.
don't speak, you'll ruin that moment. If you start talking about the future, any future, there is no future in this relationship, I don't believe. I really like the way he sings in that final verse, because instead of being a pop voice, which would be beautifully on the melody, he's slightly off. He's bending those notes with his voice, and almost he's got some background. I think that's him on the background also. So it's creating a harmony, but kind of a dissonant harmony that is not 100% where you expect him to be. And that's Ren showing his natural musical ability, and that's very, very impressive. Anyway, a very fun song, proving once again that he can have fun when he wants to. I am going to try to continue down the rabbit hole, but I've got to take it a little more gently. You can't just jump off the deep end, because I will drown.